In the misty mountain village of Arunapur, where stone temples whisper tales of time, a young ambitious apprentice named Viren arrives at the doorstep of the legendary stone carver Govind. He craves greatness, eager to carve his name into history, but when given a simple rock and a chisel, he quickly grows frustrated. As impatience leads to failure, Virene learns that stone, like life, does not yield to force. Guided by a master's wisdom and the lessons of time, he embarks on a journey to discover the true art of creation, where patience is not just a virtue, but the key to mastery. One day, a young man named Viren arrived at Govind's workshop, pleading to become his apprentice. Viren was eager, ambitious, and impatient. He believed he was destined for greatness, but he lacked the patience to endure the long, grueling years of learning. "Teach me, Master Govind," Viren said, bowing respectfully. "I want to carve like you, and I promise to work hard." Govind studied the boy's eager eyes. "Stone does not surrender easily, my boy. It requires time, patience, and wisdom to understand its will." Viren nodded eagerly. "I understand. I'll do whatever it takes." Govind sighed but accepted the young man as his apprentice. Viren expected to begin carving statues immediately, but instead, Govind gave him a simple task. He handed him a plain rock and a small chisel. "For the next 3 months," the master said, "you will chisel this rock, smoothing its edges, learning its texture." Viren frowned. 3 months just to shape a small rock? "Yes," Govind replied. "Patience, Viren. You must first learn to listen to the stone before you command it." The first week, Viren worked tirelessly, chiseling away with all his might. But as days passed, frustration crept in. He wanted to carve grand statues, not waste time on an ordinary rock. One evening, he approached Govind and asked, "Master, when will I begin real sculpting?" Govind smiled. "When the stone tells you it is ready." Viren groaned. "Rocks don't talk." "Not to those who don't listen," Govind said one morning. Viren woke up with a plan. Tired of waiting, he sneaked into Govind's workshop and began carving a statue. His hands moved fast, guided by excitement rather than understanding. Within hours, he had shaped a rough figure, a man holding a sword. It was nothing compared to Govind's masterpieces, but Viren felt proud. When Govind arrived, he examined the statue. "You worked hard," the master said, nodding. "But did you listen?" Viren was confused. "I carved it just as I imagined." Govind pointed at the statue's arm. "See the crack?" The stone was not ready for such force. A true sculptor feels the resistance, knows when to ease and when to push. Before Viren could protest, the statue's arm crumbled into dust. "You forced it," Govind said, "and now it is lost." Viren's heart sank. "What should I do, master?" "Begin again," Govind said. Realizing his mistake, Viren worked with renewed dedication. Weeks turned into months, and under Govind's guidance, he learned to study the stone, to feel its imperfections, and to carve not with impatience, but with wisdom. One day, Govind took Viren up the mountain where the finest marble was found. As they climbed, Viren grew restless. "Why are we wasting time climbing, master? We could be carving." Govind pointed to an eagle circling the valley. "See that eagle? It does not rush to its prey. It waits, studies, and only when the time is right does it strike." That is wisdom. Vereen watched the eagle and for the first time truly understood. Years passed. Vereen's impatience faded, replaced by patience and understanding. One day, Govind fell ill. Before his final breath, he whispered to Virane, "The chisel is yours now. Create not with haste, but with wisdom." Years later, a grand temple was built in Arunapur, featuring a magnificent statue carved by Viren. People called it the stone that breathes, for it was so lifelike it seemed to have a soul. And as Virene stood before his masterpiece, he whispered, "Patience is the companion of wisdom."